Palm Springs, California, you'll be forgiven if your 2018 Range Rover Velar might appear to be a head-scratcher in the beginning. After all, the most recent member from the Land Rover loved ones are about the same size because the extant plus much more expensive Range Rover Sport. It's also almost identical in stature to its Jaguar F-Pace cousin, in which it shares greater than a handful of components, including details such as platform as a result of matching wheelbase lengths and powertrains. But when given more than simply a cursory look, the Velar sets out to make lots of sense. Let's obtain the Range Rover Sport taken care of first. While its footprint which of the Velar offer a similar experience, the Sport offers some £1,000 and $16,850 larger sized. Some would say you obtain most of a Sport that has a Velar, in case you look purely at objective metrics like engine specs and show lists. It's difficult to argue they're wrong. But there's more to cars than only the objective, and subjectively the Velar is often a kinder, gentler soul that's very likely to get someone to intensify from the smaller Evoque instead of step down from your Sport. Land Rover itself is positive that cannibalization will likely be minimal and early returns, the first full month of sales, show that 85% of Velar people are new to the company. It's an identical story regarding the Jaguar F-Pace, and that is closer in price to your Evoque compared to the Velar. Despite the sharing of platforms, wheelbases, and engines, the Jaguar is slightly lighter, and noticeably more agile, but read more about that later. Then there's small matter on the drastically different designs inside and outside, together with the Velar's leaning towards sophisticated and luxurious even though the F-Pace tilts heavily toward the sporty aspects, befitting their respective personas. Speaking of design, the Velars would be the cleanest and prettiest expression of Range Rover's contemporary design language. Almost free of hard edges, the Velar boasts minimal lines privately, plus the cleanliness is amplified with the trick retracting door handles. In a way, the sheet metal is actually too smooth, at the least to eyes accustomed to busy faces and excess creases that little but create visual noise. The minimalist saga continues in the airy cabin, which packs the most up-to-date and touchscreen technology. The dash is clean and elegant, and physical controls are actually reduced to your bare necessities, a volume knob and a couple of rotary dials that resemble temperature switches. In fact control multiple functions, based on which screen you choose. Everything else can be a touchpoint that simulates the button experience. Think the button for the iPhone 7 via force feedback, much like the steering wheel mounted controls. Land Rover's interface designers made the most out from the new Touch Pro Duo System's twin 10-inch screens, intelligently separating navigation and entertainment functions top screen from climate control and vehicle settings bottom screen. It's quick and responsive, better as opposed to setup in this Four Seasons Jaguar F-Pace, as well as the only gripe possible will be the lack of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Be sure to spring for your 1600-watt, 23-speaker Meridian subwoofer, that may massage your ears as pleasantly as being the seat's massager works your back, or start a violent and brutal oral assault on the neighbors, if that's more your lifestyle. When it comes towards the mechanical soundtrack, Velar buyers have three choices, 2 gasoline and another diesel. All are mated to some 8-speed automatic, which does an outstanding job of managing ratios no matter which power plant drives it. The base engine would be the gas-upping version of JLR's new Ingenium 2.0-liter turbo, an even and refined mill that delivers an easy stream of power and a good punch once the need or urge to bury the right side pedal into your floor arises because of its 247 horsepower and 269 lb-ft output peaks, the second coming on in a mere 1,200 revolutions per minute. Land Rover claims a good 060 miles per hour period of 6.4 seconds plus a healthy 5,075 miles per hour passing performance of 4.7 seconds, which entered handy once the time stumbled on go-around slow-moving traffic using a twisty tool-on. It's also reasonably fuel efficient. Option 2 may be the diesel-powered version of these 2.0-liter turbo, helping to make 180 horsepower and 317 lb-ft of torque. It would be a stretch to think of it as quick, as well as spry, as hitting 60 miles per hour takes 8.4 seconds. Nonetheless, it does get 26 miles per gallon city and 30 miles per gallon highway, per the EPA. And it's quite quiet towards the point it doesn't really seem like a diesel in any respect. So don't be ready to pick one away from a lineup by listening with the clatter. Most of his era, like the off-road portion, was spent in a Velar powered from the third engine offering, the stalwart 3.0-liter supercharged V6. It combines 380 horsepower with 332 lb-ft, propelling a few 471-pound SUV. The V6 could be the heaviest from the three variants, outweighing the gasoline 4x254 pounds as well as the diesel 4x112, to 60 miles per hour in 5.3 seconds, about on par while using Mercedes-AMG G65, to select one random example. The 6 also can tow a little more, being rated to tug 5,512 pounds, as the 4s are rated to tug 5,291 pounds. Its droning soundtrack isn't for all, however, and should you not really want the other zip or consider getting your Range Rover dirty and perchance beat up, you'll be well served by one with the two 4-cylinder engines. There are a couple of elements that will make the V6 the engine of choice for would-be off-roaders. First and foremost, needless to say, could be the extra torque to be had. Second will be the adjustable air suspension, which comes standard on all V6-powered Velars, commemorate for a bouncier ride on road as opposed to traditional coil spring suspension, but whereas a Velar using the standard coil suspension has only 8.4 inches of ground clearance, using the air suspension, the adjustable suspension-equipped one extends to boast just as much as 9.9 inches and accelerates to 32 miles per hour. Third, the optional active locking rear differential is merely available on V6 models. Unlike traditional locking differentials, it doesn't actually lock, instead allocates torque distribution dependent on load transfer and friction. Throw in Land Rover's terrain response and all-terrain progress control systems, and that which you have is often a Range Rover using the off-road ability of, well, a Range Rover. Despite the soft-looking sheet metal, this rig doesn't go soft if the road gets hard, while wearing its stock Pirelli Scorpion Verde All Seasons, sized 25550R20 the mid-range Velar aerodynamics occupied wheel sizes consist of 18 to 22 inches, according to the trim. The Velar expertly and confidently handled the tricky trail over the eastern San Bernardino mountains, its forward progress easily managed either by human inputs or ATPC, that could crawl you along in your chosen speed within its operational selection of 2.2 miles per hour and 18 miles per hour. Even some on the hardened off-roaders on hand appeared impressed, and I'm not discussing the instructors convicted of making sure we journalists kept the cars shiny and smooth. Out with the hills and during the land of cell reception, the Velar offered a cushy and luxurious cruise, taking in bumps and keeping wind and tire noises beyond the cabin where they belong. As mentioned earlier, the air-sprung V6 felt bouncier on uneven pavement, and gave the impression to offer much more body roll from the turns. Neither setup offered as often confidence as that relating to our Jaguar pace, and steering leans toward the looser aspects, but sporty driving isn't the Velar's mission, either. Still, It'll happily manage a mountain road in the posted speed limit without making a corner. Passengers decorate the leather using their lunches around the way up to your ski chalet. While some might find the Velar's design for being so smooth-hosed lands into their personal uncanny valley, there's no question that Range Rover is smartly positioned and well executed. It checks all on the important luxury SUV boxes and neatly fills the $50K $70K gap with the company's lineup, giving Land Rover a dollar-for-dollar answer for the Porsche Macan, Mercedes-Benz GLE, and BMW X5. Given the appeal from the Range Rover brand and also the Velar's adherence to its brand values, this Brit should offer the Germans plenty to be concerned about. We attended Palm Springs to complete Range Rover things with all the Range Rover Velar. No boring cars. Range Rover Velar. Range Rover. Off-road. Off-roading. SUV. California. A post shared by Automobile Magazine at Automobile Mag on October 12, 2017 at 7:48 p.m. PDT. 2018 Range Rover Velar specifications. Price: $50,895 base. Engines: 2.0 liters turbocharged 16 valve I-4247 HP at 5,500 revolutions per minute, 269 lb-ft at 1,2004, 500 revolutions per minute. 2.0 liters turbodiesel 16 valve I-4180 HP at 4,000 revolutions per minute, 317 lb-ft at 1,500 revolutions per minute. 3.0 liters supercharged 24 valve V6380 HP at 6,500 revolutions per minute, 332 lb-ft at 3,505 revolutions per minute. Transmission: 8-speed automatic. Layout: 4-door, 5-passenger, front engine, AWD SUV. EPA mileage: 16,212,126 miles per gallon. City Hui. LXWXH: 189.1 by 84.4 by 65.6 inches, wheelbase 113.1 inch. Weight: 4,2174, 471 pounds, 060 miles per hour, 38.4 seconds, top speed 130,155 miles per hour.